Welcome to this Pádel. Today we have a guest that has come from Spain. You already know him. He's been previously in this channel, but not here in Miami. So I want to welcome an entrepreneur, a visionary, and a very, I would say, Pádel passionate person, Dioni Ugalde. Dionisio Ugalde, welcome.
My pleasure. I mean,
Finally here.
A lot of nice words. We are here also with a lot of things in common with you. So yeah, thank you for the introduction, and a pleasure to be here with you.
Yeah, in this Pádel, we try to focus, have an angle or a special attention to entrepreneurs, people that are doing business on top of the Pádel ecosystem, because I think it's important and it's something that also shows how Pádel is growing. And we wanted to have you here because you are somehow a creator. You've created things that didn't exist, or the way you do things are different from the regular way things has been done historically in Padel. One is Padel Pro Shop, that was like the challenger, but now it's, I'm not sure it's the number one, but just in about 3-4 years. So what's your story with Padel Pro Shop?
Well, I'm an entrepreneur, as you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
I started my first company when I think was 18.
Okay.
I was selling hockey online. Ooh. Then we passed from hockey to handball. We keep both websites on the way. And then 2020, the COVID came. The handball, as you know, it's a grabbing sport, a lot of touching to each other. And it was taking longer. As I'm a paddle lover, I was buying online paddle, and I found out some difficulties. Paddle lovers know what I mean. So I didn't get for example, I buy a racket and I got another one, or I buy something and never replied, and the customer experience was terrible. At that time I was like, Mamma mia, if I know and my company is having 5 stars in Google and we are doing everything very good with handball, and we are in Spain, let's try something at least until COVID really finishes. Yes. So I decided, and I talked with the team, guys, let's start a Padel online shop. We were not working that much those days, unluckily. So we were in a bad situation, I would say, and we took that decision. And luckily, quickly it worked. And I would say it worked because we do things first with passion. Also, we do things looking forward for the customer. First thing is the customer. We want to have a customer experience that is from the beginning. You get to the website, the nice website, easy to navigate around. And then if you buy and you have a problem with the racket or with whatever, try to make a website wherever I would like to buy. And I would like this guy from 2020 that was buying a racket online, that to have that experience
and come back again.
So we did that, and we grew crazily. We are not number one yet. Yet. I hope we will get there. But I think the numbers are there. We passed from 0 to almost 20 million in this 2024.
In revenue, sales.
Profit would be very nice.
That requires a revenue like the...
So that's, we are big team now, trying to hire more talent and growing. That's passing from to be a startup to try to be a company that is difficult sometimes. And
I
it's
guess
nice, but at the same time, I miss some things from the startup world.
But also, to me, startup is like launching a rocket before you finish the rocket, right? Just putting the parts together and then
processes. What is process? Well, why do we need a process? Because I like the business when it's a table, 4 people working and everybody knows. But at some point when it grows, that goes away.
But there's something that I think you still keep like the startup mood, because when I met you for the first time, it was in Arguelles in Madrid, and it was kind of the startup atmosphere, right? Like the people were rolling their sleeves, like super like involved in what they were doing. It was the day that they were launching a pala. I didn't know what was that at that point, but I felt that passion, all the people working there and the atmosphere. So it's something that I guess when someone gets into the website feels that. Like
definitely, I'm a paddle freak, and I have a lot of paddle freaks around me, and I think that's why the company is rolling more and more. Because if there is a tournament in Spain and we offer invitation because we sponsor whatever, then you realize that there is 10 people from the company playing the tournament because we love paddle. That's a fact. And that's something I'm not sure our competitor has. This passion, this love. And at the end, for me, it's when I have a discussion of, Dioni, why the fuck you bought 1,000 of those rackets? They look like shit. They can tell me they look like shit. Or, Dioni, why didn't you buy 10,000 of this one? It looks. It's a discussion of love. It's not a business discussion. And at the end,
but they know what the customer wants because it's like what they call dog food.
Exactly.
So you eat what you're selling.
Exactly. We I would say we are 35. 25 at least, or 30 of us play once a week paddle.
At least.
So.
That's important because when someone complains about a racket or something, they know what they're talking about. It's not explaining like a form, then there's AI or someone in another country reading the comments or something.
I will say even more than 25 out of 30. No. Almost everybody is a paddle lover. In the breaks, the lunch break, they're watching a game of couple 25 against couple 40. And there is people like, I know names, but it's like, what are you are not watching Tapia against whatever. No, you are watching someone from Italy against, and no, but the new French guy is working super good.
Okay.
So this is the atmosphere.
Yeah, that's good. And that's a good conversation. Like
that's fantastic. We have the paddle love, and that's easy,
Yeah, there's something that to me is also different. I'm not very old in paddle. I've been playing for barely 3-4 years, but I got into this thing. But what I feel, my background is in tech, right? So when I got into the website, looked like more like a high-end store, not like a flashy thing with colors that get into your eyes. What I mean is that the UX, UI is well designed. And also there are, I think, some SEO components when you look that it makes it different too. So for maybe the competitors is a big investment, changing that and understanding how customers. But to me, I might be wrong, there's also like a geeky component, like a techie background when you build that.
Well, my two parents are artists.
Okay.
So I've been expending my childhood in museums. Actually, the deal was we go to 2 museums and then we go to a toy shop.
Okay.
So at some point, I think it helped me to understand more or less how we want to. And I also have a team that has a lot of love to that. And also, I'm a person that loves to know what I do. So I have a bit of tech background. Also, we are with Shopify. That helps everything to make it easier. But in a way, I want to have this conversion time, like from the beginning, to look nice and also to be quite easy to get to the sales. That's we have spent a lot, like in rebranding, new website, blah 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 blah. But at the end, or you spend, or yesterday you were telling me here, like we were having dinner and people buy here Padel Pro Shop, and if they check different websites, there is no discussion nowadays. So that's and we want even to improve all the time. Is why don't we make it better?
You never finish. Like you can always tweak something.
Yeah. Actually, I think competitors are nowadays checking on what we do in the website to go behind. But still, I think we have too much to improve. Still, we have so much.
Of course. Always like it's also a mindset. I think when it's never finished. Like being a perfectionist has those things, but it's somehow good and bad. But I wanted to ask you, you were saying like people go and get palas, but you just don't sell palas. So what are the things that people, when they check into Padel Pro Shop, what do they look for the most? Or what are the things they like, but also maybe, I don't know, small surprises. We're talking about the T-shirts. What are the things that people go and buy?
There is no one thing. I mean, I don't know exactly the percentages, but rackets or palas, it's 70% of sales in the website. So then we have balls, shoes, clothing, accessories, grips. There's many things, but it's true that racket is 60 to 70% of the sales. Yeah. Because also a racket costs 200 euros or dollars, and a shirt costs 30.
Yeah.
So you
and
have
you can
to
use a T-shirt that is anything, and you play with that. Better or less, but you need a pala, and the shoes.
But
are
in the
important.
last years, we've been focused on growing in clothing, and we grew a lot in clothing.
Okay.
And also, 1 year ago, I decided to really go to women's also clothing.
Cool.
It's slowly going better and better, but it's difficult to retake from the rackets. At the end, you go to a paddle shop to buy a racket.
Yeah.
You can buy other things, but normally what you buy is a racket or a ball pressure that here is maybe not. But what you really need is those things, or a ball box. Those are the three real...
The stars.
Let's say, what you can need is balls or racket or shoes.
Yeah.
Clothes you don't need.
Yeah.
So what you really need is, let's say, those three things. Then from those three things, you have to add value with accessories, for example, with whatever, but you really need those
the
things.
basics are those, and are
balls, racket, and shoes, because shoes at the end, otherwise you are slippery, and etc.
I'm curious about the brands, right? Because here in the US, people still don't know the pure paddle brands, right? And they know more the tennis brands. So in general, what happens in Spain or Europe with paddle, and also in Argentina, it has also, people are curious about it. Like, what do people there buy? So if you can share some insights, I don't mean like exact percentages, but what do you think, or what do you see that gets interest in the customer right now, like a trend?
Yeah, what I see, it's talking about brands. Since I started, I think the market is very focused, I would say, in 10 brands nowadays.
Okay.
So wherever you go, there is those, actually 8 brands, and then some local things. You know, today I saw a brand that they say, no, here is in fashion.
Okay.
No one knows it in Spain.
Yeah.
No, if it's in Spain, means it's worldwide.
Right. Yeah.
But then there is some people like create rackets here in US or Qatar or Argentina, and they sell it in Argentina. Good, perfect. But those 8 brands that are the known brands, Pádel, Nox, Adidas, Head, Babolat, are worldwide. And then 4 years ago, it was like maybe like 50 big brands, and now it's
narrowing
a lot. Yeah. And we can differentiate, as you say, the tennis brands that are always on top, like Head, Babolat, Wilson, and then the known the paddle brands that are Bull Pádel, Adidas, Nox, etc.
Okay, and then there's another one that you are like super focused on that, and that how I connected with you through Ramon, which is Oxdog. So what's the story of Oxdog?
Yeah, Oxdog, if we come back from my business story, years ago, I was selling hockey, and Oxdog they started those days. They come from other companies, engineers. And nowadays, Oxdog is number 1 in that sport. That is, it was my hobby when I was a kid. I was playing a lot of hockey inside.
Because why to do something that everybody does when you can pick a sport that is
well, you know,
yeah,
no. But I was in El Escorial. There is a village next to Madrid, and a friend from class, his dad was showing us the sport, and it was nice. The whole class was playing. Yeah, and then we make a team, and we were competing all around Spain. So that was fantastic years. And from that, I knew Oxdog, and we had a relation selling products from them. It was my main brand, and I have very good relation. But all the time, as those sticks are made out of carbon, I was saying, Joachim, that is the CEO, why don't we make paddle rackets? Because you know, you have the knowledge of production, and you always, in hockey, it was impossible for me to grab another stick. And it's even more technical than in paddle. And the fact was that it was so much technology on the sticks comparing to the competitors that they killed the competition. I mean, now I've heard that they have 55% of the market. It's a market in 5 countries. That is something that one brand has, is unreal, and it's because of technology. So 2021, they called me and say, Dioni, we want to get into paddle. I know that you've been telling me this for 10 years. We need Spanish blood, and you know paddle, and we know that's our... Why don't we start doing something? And I came to Sweden, I saw the rackets, I saw the technology, I saw the design. And nowadays, honestly, if I would be a customer and I go to a shop and I want to have something elegant with technology, I would buy Oxdog. In a wall, it looks like nice, elegant, fancy. okay, of course, Nox, Pádel, Adidas has also good designs, but in 2 years we have at least that good design. We have created around, I don't know, 10 patents on the rackets. We have the ribs that make the racket not to vibrate.
Yeah.
We have the weight that you can put weight or remove weight. We have technology innovations that.
And the sound, right, is different.
Yeah, there is not that much sound because when you hit the ball, those ribs control the sound. More sounds is fantastic because your friend hears boom. Today I was changing my racket because one guy wanted to try and I was taking another brand, and every time I was hitting it was like vibrating. I was like, Mamma mia! And
Are there pictures of you with another racket?
Maybe, I don't know. I hope not because I'm talking bad about the rackets.
No, I'm kidding.
And it was one of the big brands.
Yeah.
And when I was smashing, it was like boom, boom. But I was realizing, is that needed? Because sound is energy lost at the end. So what I want is when I hit the ball, it's all the power goes from my arm to the ball, not to lose thing in vibration, sound, etc. So that's something that is very fantastic from the power ribs combined with the Japanese carbon that we use. It's called Hess carbon.
Okay, that's interesting. So more tech.
Everything is tech in the
topic.
rackets. I'm very happy because I'm working hand to hand with the CEO that is engineer, technical engineer that is always fighting how to make the racket better.
Okay.
And I think we still have a long way.
Yeah, one of the things I see when I try to focus on Oxdog is there are not a lot of paddles like different lines and all that, like quite clear the line, more like a Steve Jobs style somehow. But also maybe to me the price point is high because I'm used to have like a good one for 120 euros, right? Like here in the US it's very different. But when I go to Spain, they look like, okay, but they are expensive. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Am I wrong or not? Like I want to know how the pricing works.
It's completely, the price strategic is different.
Okay.
The price strategy normally in Padel is you have rackets for 8 months full price, after 8 months 50% discount. That's how it works, as you might have seen. Our strategy is very easy. We have the same price for 11 months. The month 12, when the new collection is coming, we lower it 10%.
But in general, maybe you ran out of rackets at that point.
Well, that happened this year, of course, and if we don't have rackets, we don't lower it. But the idea is to lower 10% because I'm talking of the models that don't change for the year after. But if you have the same model the year after, okay, the only change normally is the color.
Yeah.
It has some maybe innovations, but it's not that much every year. You want to pay 50% or you want to pay 150 or 300? What would you take? I would take the 150. It's logic. That drives us to customers that don't want to spend money, but then those are not the goal of.
It's not your target.
It's not our target, and we don't want to target everybody. Do you think iPhone was targeting for everybody?
No, it's okay.
10 years
became
ago,
popular, but it's okay.
and now people pay 700. And if you want to have a phone of 300, then you cannot buy an iPhone. It's okay, you buy a Samsung, you buy a Huawei or whatever, but if you want to have an iPhone, you need to know that it's gonna promise you a good performance. That's what we want to do with the rackets, and the price, it's solid because we want our customer to be loyal. We don't want, in Padel, people is not very loyal to the brands. They buy a Bull Padel and the year after they want, I want to try an Adidas. In tennis, a kid with Wilson will play Wilson
of his life.
And that's something that is super interesting why it happens and why in Padel people want to try. Maybe we are not that much professional yet. That is coming. I don't know. But
people are not satisfied, so you're exploring that too.
But
somehow.
I would like you to answer me.
Okay.
The people that you've seen with Oxdog, what they say about Oxdog?
No, they are in love.
You told me like 3 cases.
I don't see a lot of people, like, little story. A few days ago, I went to play in Miramar in Open Padel, and I saw a good friend of mine, Orlando Pastore, that was finishing playing. And he had an Oxdog. I was like, Orlando, what are you doing with this? Because in the US, you don't see many Oxdog. And like, no, I'm in love with my, like, really? He was like, yeah, and he started to say really good things, and I was like, oh, you have to meet the person that is running the company. It's my friend, I know, and I want him to meet you to explain how he feels, because he's not the regular person that could use the racket based on the background he has and in Spain and all that. But to me, I felt like it's not a person that get it by the marketing or because a top one player is using that. It's totally a different path. So I also wanted to talk to him to understand that, just to fulfill my curiosity. Right? So I understand that the way people are getting into Oxdog, everyone has a story and it's different.
But it's like that, Rosa. I mean, look, my hair gets like but it's normal. We have messages every day.
Okay.
People thanking us for the job we are doing. That is a community that love our products in only 2 years. That's unsense. And we want to continue doing this. And 25 collection is...
No, it's too much. Oh, it's going to be mind-blowing. Okay.
It's coming now in December. But imagine first collection was okay, second collection were completely sold out, third collection it's 1 or 2 steps more, and we are super proud of what we are doing, and we are really focusing on having this kind of people that comes and say, man, it's the best racket I've tried. And that's very important. What you were saying, the price has to be
consistent. Yeah, not something that changes and I'm gonna wait to buy it. Like if you wait 3 months, it's gonna be the same price.
If you pay 300 and you see your friend with 150, then you're gonna be like, what I've done.
Yeah.
If you see a friend that buys it in 270 and you understand it's year after, you will understand.
Yeah.
So we want to change that. Imagine to buy a Rolex or a Ferrari. Okay, those are luxury prices, but you will never understand that someone buys it for 50% of yours. Never. Yeah. And the industry is working like that, and it's working very good. Excuse me. I'm not saying that it's wrong. Nox is doing the best job, and me as Padel Pro Shop, I'm in love with how Nox business is going. We have a super strong relation. I'm not saying that it's wrong.
No, it's different. That's it. It's different.
And you go every court and you see Nox rackets everywhere. And honestly, I'm very in love in the business model that Nox has done. But maybe a lot of people wants to follow the Nox thing. And one thing is to do Nox, and it's fantastic. They are completely sold out also, and everywhere, everywhere.
Or they want to have the one that his player has, the one they follow.
Correct. So what I think is that we are doing something different, and that's our slogan. Others will follow. We do something different, and we don't want everybody in the courts to have Oxdog if they don't want to follow how it works.
Yeah.
And that's also fantastic, because the people who really feels, no, I'm a Oxdog, I'm a real Oxdog.
Okay.
And that's
it's
going. But you told me like few cases, the people that you talk with that has an Oxdog.
It's true. So keeping the conversation into the Oxdog thing, there's something that I was also curious, and is that you are using influencers. Okay, everybody now wants to be an influencer, micro-influencer, whatever. But in general, and especially here in Miami, influencers are more like fashion, aspirational. To me, your influencers, or the two that I see the most, are super down to earth. Are people that are authentic, right? Like Crespo or Dani.
Yeah.
They are, what you see is what you get, the way they are real. So who are your brand ambassadors or influencers, and how did you pick them?
Okay, exactly those two. Dani is not only...
So his name is Daniel? Or
Dani Montero, it's not only Oxdog. He's playing with Oxdog, but he's Padel Pro Shop. Crespo, it's in between, but he's more with the Oxdog thing. They are very important because they are down to earth and close to people and very focused in the paddle. Both of them are fantastic people because they are natural. They don't get followers and become like... I was playing with Dani the other day, a tournament together. So the relation is like we are friends. Of course, we work together and the business is important, but we have a very similarities. I mean, the biggest influencer for a paddle brand nowadays is the players. Okay. That's the most important. Well, it's not the most important. The most important for me is the product.
It's a friend.
It's
when you see a friend and recommends you.
The product is good. If the product is good, then we can market it. But when we say we have the product, I would say players we have the coach Ramiro Choya, as you might know. We have.
So for people that don't know, because I didn't want to get into them yet, because I think like there's something that is I think somehow like changes the balance a little bit and gives you more leverage, which is having Real Federación Española de Padel, like the official one, plus Ramiro Choya, a really well-known coach, both having like the official racket and also he's kind of an advisor for the company, right?
Yes.
So how did you get there, and what kind of recognition gives you to Oxdog, to the brand?
Well, Ramiro has been with us for already 3 years. I don't know, 3 or he's with since the beginning, and he's always has been helping us to find the correct route. And then we signed for 24-25 the official racket of the Spanish Federation. We launched them 6 months ago or 3 months ago. I don't exactly remember. We are almost sold out already of the rackets.
Wow.
And
is it special?
We try to make a racket in line with a little design of Spain and being elegant, and people likes it. We try to make things elegant. That's important. So Ramiro, Paquito's coach, and has been fantastic for us, the Federación, and now we also have players.
Okay, and who are the players that play with Oxdog right now?
The players are Teo Zapata. It's our main star nowadays. He was playing with the national team, and he's ranked around 30 nowadays. Continuing with the male, we have Arnau Ayats, that is ranked around 50 in the world. We have Emilio Chamero, that is ranked around also 55, a young superstar. We have Victor Mena, that is ranked 60. And in the women's, we have Noa Canovas,
who is like a big promise
that
right
is
now.
ranked around
reality.
30. Yeah, she's with us now 7 months, and we have very good feedback. She's very good playing, and also outside the court, she's helping us a lot to develop the brand. And so we have those players in top 100. Then we have Sergio Ricardo also, that is our distributor in the UAE, and he's a player that is around 100 in the world, and he's fantastic playing. He was also in the World Cup. In the World Cup, I think we have 8 players. So
wow, so it's significant.
In the second
number.
year, it's a very good number.
Yeah, well, a lot. And now that you're talking about worldwide and all that, you are coming here to the US to fulfill your curiosity and how things are going here. How is your trip so far?
Well, I've come to visit mainly a friend that has a startup in tech. I've been in New York. Talking about the paddle thing, I checked about the clubs, and it's still in the early stage.
Okay.
In New York, it's really...
It's natural. It is what it is.
Yeah, it is. But also you can find next to Wall Street courts of paddle that is fantastic because it's one of the most...
iconic places in the world.
Definitely. And you can find courts, but still I think it's very early stage there because in Europe we're talking about the boom. Yeah. New York is not yet there. I think it will take time. Then I flew to Miami, and here it is the boom. Here I agree, you can see courts everywhere. You go with the car and use courts, and everybody's playing, and I've been playing already 2 matches, and both times the courts were almost full, or full, I would say.
Yeah.
And it looked that there is a big group of people already playing. I found it expensive.
Yeah, it is.
It is, so to understand, it's around 40 euros to play 1 hour and a half. That is 4 times more than in Europe, or even more. So that, I think it makes, like, you have to be in a good situation, economic situation
in order to play paddle.
In order to play paddle, because yesterday we were talking with your friend, and he said, yeah, if I play 4 times a week, then I'm spending 1,000 euros a month, and that's a lot of money. So comparing to Spain, you can spend 200 if you play that much. That is this
it's
paddle
an intense
fever.
player,
But that's common. So it's this way of, but that's normal. At the beginning is like that. People check for revenues. Also, it's USA, it's Miami.
Yeah, it's aspirational here too.
it's aspirational and it's not democratized yet, but it will happen. It was the same in Spain. We had when Aznar was playing and people was following, it was more expensive than nowadays.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of time. Then there will be much more clubs, and when there's more clubs, the price will go lower.
We are not there yet, and it's when I went like to Spain at the end of May, and then I came back early September. I tried to spend the summer there. When I came back, it's like there are, I don't know, maybe 15 or 20 more courts there when I left, but the prices are still going high. So there's, I think, still it's not balanced, but I think we will go there at some point.
That's normal. At the beginning, it happens that you go to a court and they rise, but you can rise as long as you have the courts booked.
Full, yeah.
Then, the problem is when there is a lot of clubs and there is a lot of offer, the big clubs will stay, but the price is not going to be. So when you make the business plan at the beginning, is all fantastic, but if there is now, I don't know, in Miami, 100 new clubs in the next 5 years, either there is a big demand of paddle that can come, or either the prices will go lower and more people will get into the paddle. Both options, but that's how it happened in Sweden, how it happened in Spain, in Italy.
Everywhere.
Exactly. That's the normal procedure.
And talking about business itself, like your business, if someone wants to play with Oxdog here, how does it work? Can they buy a Oxdog racket in the US?
Yes, they can. We have a distributor here. Also, there is some shops that you can buy online, etc. Okay. Yeah, that's not a problem.
So you're interested in this market right now?
For sure.
As Oxdog, okay.
Yeah, we have the distributor here and we are trying to help. And now that I know more the market, I'm trying to see how to get into and grow together. Now I have more the vision of how it is.
You did by yourself, not second-hand information, but you came and touched.
I'm this kind of person that I don't like to talk from the sofa of my house. I like to go and check and see different ways, and now I know how it's here. And now I understand what's the development and how it will continue growing.
Oh, super interesting, because you can compare too.
Definitely.
I'm talking about Padel Pro Shop. People can use it from here. Do you have plans to come to the US, or something that could happen but not immediately?
Yeah, they can buy from Padel Pro Shop. Not all the brands are in the shop, in the US shop, but yeah, some of them are, and we have quite good sales. But I cannot answer your question yet. If I want to open a warehouse,
maybe
here,
you don't know. You don't need.
I don't know yet. The thing is that we are growing so much that we sometimes have to prioritize. Our priority now is to grow in Europe. We have it very clear that we want to attack France, Italy, Germany, etc. And also Spain, where we are growing a lot. But it's a lot of things going step by step to see. So maybe, but I cannot say exactly. Yeah. I got a lot of proposals these days. Like, don't you want to share Padel Pro Shop here? But so far we have a different goal. But let's see. Okay. Don't know yet.
Okay. Which are the brands that you see that sell the most in the US? Or something curious, like, people like this a lot and somewhere else they don't. I don't know.
I was not very fashion. I mean, it's very similar what I see in Spain.
Everywhere. Oh.
Yeah, like Bull Paddle, Nox, Adidas are the leading. I saw a lot of Sioux also. Yeah, I would say those brands are what I saw.
Top. Yeah, that's good. And my last question is related to more than what you see, like a wish. What would you like to see the US in paddle? How would you envision the future of paddle here?
My wish or what I...
Both. Could be your vision, like what you see and what you would like to see in the future.
Well, I think it will grow, but I don't know if it's going to be that fast as people is thinking that in 2 years, because it's a matter of money also. Here there's a lot of money, but let's see how it develops. I guess, of course, it's going to grow. There's a lot of people pushing for it to grow, but it takes time. Things like new sports takes time. Also, there is a big rivalry with pickleball.
Yeah.
because the other day I was walking around Madison Square Garden, and then you see a place with 25 courts of pickleball. I was like, Mamma mia, this sport is really inside it, because it was full, actually. That's what I like to see, no? It's not only that it's there, it's that it's full.
And you heard the tac-tac, tac-tac, tac-tac.
But apart of that, I think it's a sport that if you take a line, it's worldwide growing very clearly.
Mm-hmm.
I think here it's gonna grow. I think there is spots where there is a lot of South American people and Spanish people that it will grow. But my only worry is that the business also is what I say. When there is a lot of clubs, the renting prices go down, and it's not that much business at some point. So I don't know how that will happen with investors.
That could be for the clubs, but then you can build things on top, right?
Of course.
Leagues, competition, social life.
Or something I liked here and I've seen is that they make a club that you have your paddle club, but then you can have offices where people can work next to, and also they have the restaurants. So it's more like a shopping mall connected with the paddle, and that's something that can be very interesting. So because you have a lot of square meters that on top or down you can put offices or wherever, and it can be like to mix social with work, and nowadays that people goes to co-workings.
Yes,
that is very interesting. That is definitely very interesting. And then you don't care that much about the rentability of those courts. Of course you want to have a profit, but then you can make the money on the other one, and you combine and you offer an experience. Because I liked it the other day. I've heard that here you drive and it's a lot of traffic.
Yeah, it's far.
So if you can take it less traffic and spend your whole day in one place where you work, you have your gym and you have your paddle, so you do everything and you don't lose time going to that.
Yeah,
that's a big opportunity.
Yeah, it's life quality.
And maybe it's the next step. In Spain, everything is like, how has it been done in Spain? And in Spain we have good weather, we don't have that much traffic in some places. It's a different concept. But maybe paddle has to adapt to countries like are more like
different
US,
lifestyle.
Exactly. And that can be an interesting opportunity for the future. I don't know, but it sounds like very...
Yeah, you're curious about that, like to see how it develops.
Maybe it's the future. If you will say to do that in Madrid, I would say like, I'm not sure, because we have a very good underground, people is going by bus and it's more social. But here that people is very focused into work and earning money, maybe it's a good opportunity, and you have everything in one place. It sounds interesting, at least.
And
I've heard it a few times. I've heard it a few times already this week.
In just these days?
Yeah.
Okay, wow. Okay, thank you, Dioni.
Oh, my
Hope
pleasure.
to see you soon. We are going to keep an eye on your Oxdog, not just here, but also in Spain and worldwide. I'm always curious about, entrepreneurial, geeky things, and I think you have all that with the Padel Pro Shop. And also keep us posted on how you evolve, what you launch, because I know that once you feel that this is okay, for sure you're going to get into something else and build something. So
well, thank you. Okay. My pleasure.